Lutefisk or lutefisk is a traditional dish of some Nordic countries. It is traditionally part of the Swedish julbord. It is made from aged stockfish, dried, salted whitefish and lye. It is gelatinous in texture. Its name literally means live fish. Preparation: lutefisk is dried whitefish treated with lye. The first step is soaking the stockfish in cold water for 5 to 6 days. The saturated stockfish is then soaked in an unchanged solution of cold water and lye for an additional 2 days. The fish swells during this soaking, and its protein content decreases by more than 50%, producing a jelly-like consistency. When this treatment is finished, the fish is caustic with a pH of 11-12. To make the fish edible, a final treatment of yet another 4 to 6 days of soaking in cold water is needed. Eventually, the lutefisk is ready to be cooked. In Finland, the traditional reagent used is birch-ash. It contains higher amounts of potassium carbonate and bicarbonate, giving the fish a more mellow treatment than would lye. It is important not to marinate the fish too long in the lye because saponification of the fish fats may occur. Cooking: after the preparation, the lutefisk is saturated with water and must therefore be cooked carefully so that it does not fall to pieces. To create a firm consistency in lutefisk, it is common to spread a layer of salt over the fish half an hour before it is cooked. This will release some of the water in the fish meat. The salt must be rinsed off before cooking. Lutefisk does not need additional water for the cooking. It is sufficient to place it in a pan, salt it, seal the lid tightly, and let it steam cook under a very low heat for 20 to 25 minutes. An alternative is to wrap in aluminium foil and bake at 225 degrees Celsius for 40 to 50 minutes. Another option is to parboil lutefisk, wrapped in cheesecloth and gently boiled until tender. Lutefisk can also be boiled directly in a pan of water. Lutefisk sold in North America may also be cooked in a microwave oven. The average cooking time is 8 to 10 minutes per whole fish at high power in a covered glass cooking dish, preferably made of heat-resistant glass. The cooking time will vary, depending upon the power of the microwave oven. When cooking and eating lutefisk, it is important to clean the lutefisk and its residue off pans, plates, and utensils immediately. Lutefisk left overnight becomes nearly impossible to remove. Sterling silver should never be used in the cooking, serving, or eating of lutefisk, which will permanently ruin silver. Stainless steel utensils are recommended instead. Eating: in Norway, lutefisk is traditionally served with boiled potatoes, mashed green peas, melted butter, small pieces of fried bacon and sometimes melted whitefisk. In Sweden and Finland, lutefisk is a part of the Christmas tradition and is mostly eaten with boiled potatoes, green peas and white sauce. Regional variations include a sprinkle of freshly ground allspice, a black pepper, and the addition of coarsely ground mustard in the white sauce. In parts of Jämtland it is served on flat bread along with whey cheese. In the United States, lutefisk is often served with a variety of side dishes, including bacon, green pea stew, potatoes, lefse, gravy, mashed rutabaga, white sauce, melted or clarified butter, syrup, whitefisk, or old cheese. It is sometimes eaten together with meatballs, which is not traditional in Scandinavia. Side dishes vary greatly from family to family and region to region, and can be a source of jovial contention when eaters of different traditions of lutefisk dine together. Today, akvavit and beer often accompany the meal due to its use at festive and ceremonial occasions. Lutefisk prepared from cod is somewhat notorious even in in Scandinavia for its intensely offensive odor. Conversely, lutefisk prepared from pollock haddock emits almost no odor. The taste of well-prepared lutefisk is very mild, and often the white sauce is spiced with pepper or other strong-tasting spices. In Minnesota, this method is common among Swedish Americans, while Norwegian Americans often prefer to eat it unseasoned with melted butter or cream sauce. Origin. An article in Smithsonian Magazine quotes some oft-rendered tall tales regarding the origins of the dish. No one is quite sure where and when lutefisk originated. Both Swedes and Norwegians claim it was invented in the country. A legend has it that Viking fishermen hung the cod to dry on tall birch racks. When some neighboring Vikings attacked, they burned the racks of fish, but a rainstorm blew in from the North Sea, dousing the fire. The remaining fish soaked in a puddle of rainwater and birch ash for months before some hungry Vikings discovered the cod, reconstituted it and had a feast. Another story tells of St. Patrick's attempt to poison Viking raiders in Ireland with the lye-soaked fish, but rather than kill them, the Vikings relished the fish and declared it a delicacy. It makes for a great story if you don't mind the fact that Patrick lived centuries before the Vikings attacked Ireland. The actual reason is probably that the lack of major salt deposits in the area favored the drying process for the preservation of whitefish, a process known for millennia. Stockfish is very nutrient-rich, and one can assume that it was also consumed domestically. Although it was during the boom in the stockfish trade in the late Middle Ages, the product became accessible throughout Scandinavia, as well as the rest of Europe. The higher quality stockfish would be soaked in water, then boiled and eaten with melted butter. Lower grade qualities would be harder and more fuel consuming to boil, and it has been suggested that adding ash from beech or birch in the boiling water would break down the protein chains and speed up the process. The introduction of lye in the preparation process might therefore have been incidental. Modern consumption. Lutefisk as a Christmas season meal has gained attention in Norway over the past 20 years. The Norwegian Seafood Export Council indicated sales of lutefisk to restaurants and catering companies in Norway increased by 72% between 2005 and 2008. A 2005 survey found 20% of Norwegians ate lutefisk during the Christmas holiday season, although only 3% would consider it for the Christmas dinner. Far more lutefisk is consumed in the United States than in Scandinavia, much of it by Scandinavian Americans in Lutheran churches and fraternal lodges. Madison, Minnesota has dubbed itself the lutefisk capital of the world, as well as claiming the largest per capita consumption of lutefisk in Minnesota. St. Olaf College in Northfield, Minnesota serves lutefisk during the Christmas festival concerts. They also host an annual music festival called Lutefest. Lutefisk, though, is not served at this festival. Health. The Wisconsin Employees' Right to Know law specifically exempts lutefisk in defining toxic substances. Spellings: Danish lutfisk or lutefisk, Norwegian lutefisk or lutfisk, Swedish lutfisk, Finnish lipikala or livekala, Northern Sami, luvtigwali.